You can also follow me on Inside Timer. I have many talks where I take more time and I have more meditations about dealing with procrastination. And I am available for mentoring. So I can really go into detail with you and see how I can, maybe help you with your procrastinating behavior. And everything I do, everything I share is research based. I am a researcher after all, or based on my own experience, or both. So that's why I really appreciate donations, so that I can keep making these live events and just share more so that people will not suffer like I did with procrastinating behavior. So donations more than welcome, and I always see the hearts. Really appreciate it. I'm also sometimes looking at the chat, so that's why I'm a little bit slow. Yeah. And it is, it doesn't necessarily have to be with writing, or sometimes it just pops up. And a big one for me is that when I notice that when I'm procrastinating, it's often that I'm not really self-regulating my emotions. That's my case. But there are often, tips and tricks you can do. I won't give them all today. What I would like to do is grounding exercise. I'm going to ask you some inquiry questions about your procrastinating behavior, because sometimes we're not really truly aware of what sort of behavior we are showing. Okay? So yeah, like I said, there are many misperceptions about procrastination. And the other thing is, usually people are labeled as lazy, and with perfectionism, people are like, oh, they're so hard workers. But it's the same coin. But it's just a different side of the coin. I've been on the perfectionism side and I've been on the procrastinating side, and they can all be on the same thing. Oh my god, I do that as well. Paperwork or admin, doing taxes. I have to do my taxes again, and so I also need this. Lila, thank you for raising that. And there are simple things you can do. For example, start with the most difficult thing, but even if you cannot start with that, start with just 2 minutes of work, which are all lovely practical tips. But sometimes I was procrastinating so bad I couldn't even get started. And yeah, also a question, why do I block out responsibilities I have to myself? I don't know the answer, but maybe, you think you're unworthy. I don't know. I don't have all the answers, I'm going to be honest with you, but I can share my experience with procrastinating behavior. And I also have my own company where I help people, especially students, with writing their thesis. So, there are many facets. And I am racing a little bit. I'm also really high in breath. So, do you want to join me in a breathing grounding exercise? And then I would like to do some, I want to share some tips and then move on with the inquiry questions. Okay? You ready? And I invite you to sit with a straight spine. Maybe with your hands open on your lap. You can move around your neck a little bit so that you're as comfortable as possible. With your feet touching the floor. And if you haven't done so already, you can close your eyes or stare at a point in front of you. And can you feel your feet on the floor and make a connection? Move around those feet on the floor. And I'm going to ask you to join me, if it's possible, if you don't have a blocked nose, for alternating nostril breathing. So you close one and you breathe into your, for example, we start with the right nostril, you breathe in and you completely make sure that your lungs are full. You hold it for a couple of seconds and you breathe out through that same nostril and then you change it. Are you ready? Breathe in and breathe out. Other side. Breathe in hold it and breathe out. Breathe in and let your expectations go. Breathe in and let it go. Breathe in and let it go. One more time, breathe in and let it go. Return to your natural breath. And can you ask yourself, what emotion am I feeling? And say that emotion out loud and say that's okay. For example, I feel anxious, but that's okay. I feel happy, and that's okay. And if you get distracted, return to your breath. And can you label your emotions with a number rated from 1 to 10? For example, anxiety is 6, happiness an 8. Well done. And let's not dwell on them too much for now. But can you identify your own set of most commonly used excuses and self-deceptions? You can think about it or share them in the chat. Is it, for example, I will do it tomorrow, or I do it when I have more time? I do it when I have more energy, or I do it when I feel more productive. Maybe you don't even have excuses. But please be mindful of your most commonly used excuses. And sometimes, not for everyone, but sometimes, it helps to form an implementation intention. Exactly, that also sometimes happen. Yeah, I didn't have the thoughts, I just pretended it didn't happen. But for those who do have common excuses, can you set an intention? Indeed, can you set an intention when you think, when I have nothing to do, even though you will know it never happens? Can you set an intention that if I think I will do it when I have nothing to do, then I will just get started on something small, or tell myself, hey, this is an excuse? Can you set an intention right now? As some of you are already stating that, right? I do it when I feel like it. Which is hardly ever. My intention is, I do it when I don't even feel like it. Can you breathe through that intention? Okay, and for those who don't even have the thoughts, let's move on to the feeling. Can you think about something you are procrastinating on? Something that is bothering you at work or writing? Writing that book, editing, admin. Can you really feel that now in your body? Allow yourself. Doing taxes. Really try to feel it. And breathe through it. Do you feel that at your stomach? I do. Or maybe at your chest? And ask yourself, am I not doing my best? Am I not good enough? Will I be okay? Yeah, and where do you feel that? Indeed, maybe your throat? I always feel it in my stomach. And I'm going to ask you to think about, and we're going to shift. Think about a happy memory or something positive happening in your life right now, which you feel grateful for, which you feel happy about. And where do you feel that in your body? Might be difficult to shift, but please try. For example, when you did finish a big project, or when you did publish a paper, or you helped someone, you were the reason for someone's smile. Can you think of a positive experience? And where do you feel that in your body? In the heart space. I have that as well, yeah. It might be difficult, but this is a real trick I usually advise to move on to the positive experiences. You know, maybe it gives you a smile. What's happening? Okay. And I'm going to ask you one more time to go back to your negative thought or worry, which is bothering you with procrastination. Where do you feel that in your body, and is it still the same? Has the level of intensity shifted? Is the feeling moving around in your body? Okay. Can you go back to that positive experience one more time? You know, what brings that smile on your face? Maybe you can place your hands on your chest, might help. And where do you feel that in your body? And indeed, sometimes the feelings can be higher or more intense than before. That just means we have to work on it. That's okay. And you can do this multiple rounds, shifting between the positive and the negative. And with that positive memory, can you really feel it in your body and see it in front of you? Who was with you? What was happening? Do you feel love, proud, gratitude? What is it? And just relish in that for a couple of seconds. And maybe that feeling has shifted in your body. And notice how both things can exist in your body. And ask yourself, do I have control over the situation? Is this something I can control? Can I be someone who feels more positive and comforted without this procrastination worry. And we're going to move on to the final phase. And please, if you haven't done so already, place your hands on your heart and say it after me, out loud. I am doing my best. I am good enough. I am working on myself. I feel my emotions. I do my best. And ask yourself one more time, how are you feeling? Still the same emotions on the same intensity? Or did it change? And it's okay if it's higher or lower, it just shows emotions do come and go. Thoughts do come and go. Big projects and new deadlines come and go. And I invite you to give yourself a hug, say thank you for taking time for yourself right now. Thank you for meditating, and everyone who is present here meditating with me, practicing mindfulness. And you can come back, open your eyes if you haven't done so already. Move around a little bit. And please share. How was it? What happened? Maybe it's useful to share again your most common excuse, also for yourself, and write down your new intention, what you're going to do with that excuse. And how were the emotions? What happened? And how did the visualization go? Because we did a lot today. We did a visualization, we felt our emotions, we were doing a breathing technique, which actually has been shown to reduce anxiety, the alternating nostril breathing technique. We've done some somatic healing as well, affirmations, and this all has been shown to help you reduce procrastination through mindfulness. So well done. Oh, and thank you for the donation. As I said, everything I do is research based or from my own experience. So with your donations, I can share more, do more. But I just love doing these live events. Apologies for my voice, it's getting a little bit rusty. But I hope you enjoyed this practice. It's almost time, but I would really like to thank you for participating. Share what's happening. Again, on my Insight Timer profile, you can give me a follow, and I have more meditations, I have more talks, I even have a procrastination series. But if you really are like, yeah, Yvette, I really need help with this, I'm available for mentoring here on Insight Timer. So I love it if you give me a follow. Otherwise, I hope to see you next time at a live, and enjoy your day. May you be well, may you be safe, may you be loved, and may you be happy.